Hello everyone, and welcome to an impromptu episode of Myth Busting, as I have heard a rumour that mining for diamonds in 1.17 is better if you do it down at Y level 5. And I want to know if this is true or not. Now, of course, in Minecraft 1.18, there are big changes to the underground of the world, which is being extended down below Y0, and of course this will change the entire game when it comes to mining for diamonds, and I will do that research in the future and find out the best level to branch mine for them. But obviously these changes aren't actually in 1.17. However, the introduction of deep slate and deep slate ores may have actually changed the distribution of diamonds. So my plan here is just to run a quick test and then compare the data that we get from data I have on diamond mining from years ago, and we'll compare them side by side and see if anything has appeared to have changed. So the big question is, how are we going to achieve this? As you can see over here, I have created a big open area for our experiment, and the only blocks that are left inside of them are diamond ore and the diamond deep slate ore. Now, if you watch my snapshot videos on this channel, you're probably going to have a moment of deja vu, as we've done something like this before. However, Plagiatus has now updated and modified the remove pack, which removes a large amount of blocks around me to take everything out of the world except diamond ore and diamond deep slate ore. So as we go across here, we're removing all the blocks, and you can see that the diamonds down there are getting left behind. And you know how it is, telling the Minecraft game to remove an extraordinary amount of blocks over and over again is pretty taxing, so it takes a fair bit of time to clear out all of this right here. However, I want to make this test as good as I can be by getting a large sample size, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time here removing some more. Okay, now that I'm struggling to see the other side of the border, I think we're good. And for this next part, we're going to use a mod known as World Edit, which can analyze parts of the world and tell us how many blocks are inside of it. So I've come down here to Y17, which is above where diamonds spawn, and I've aligned myself so that we're not going to select any of this stuff on either of these sides. Then what I do is type /pos1, and this creates a position where I currently am. And then over here we do a little bit of the same thing again, make sure I'm not selecting other blocks, and set position 2. Now when I use this command, it's going to tell us the distribution of all the blocks, and what we should see is 100% of it is air, and that's because we're at Y17. I am now looking directly downwards, and I'm going to shift the selection we just made in that direction by 1 block. So now we're selecting Y16, and when we run the distribution, we will now see that in this large area there is a total of 10 diamond ore. So I go down by 1 block again, and then I run the distribution, and then we see that for the next level there is 65 diamond ore and 1 deep slate diamond ore. And so now I'm going to go through all of these layers one by one and tally up the results. Okay, job done. And just to confirm that I'd actually counted everything correctly, I shifted down to the very bottom of the world where you can see it's 100% air. And so here are the tallied up results. We have the Y level on this side, and over here we have all of the diamond ore amounts, and clearly there is a large number of them clustered around this area. So I went back to my Minecraft tutorials playlist in search of this video on mining diamonds, and in there I found this graph, which I will point out has a very large sample size, way bigger than what we have in this video. And here is the result of our test, which has, again, a lower sample size, but clearly around Y5 there are way more diamonds. And here is your side-by-side comparison. I actually had to flip the numbers around because I'd ordered them incorrectly. But yeah, something is clearly different, right? So does this mean that branch mining at Y level 5 is the best way to go? Well, there is one more thing to be considered. The player is actually 2 blocks high. And not only that, when you create a branch mine like this, you are also going to expose the blocks around you. So that means at whatever height that you pick, you're also looking at different heights as well. These two values right here in the middle would have a weight of 3, because you'd always be exposing 3 blocks at that level as you went across, and then the ones above and below would only have a weight of 1. So back here in the spreadsheet, I've created a score or a rating for what would happen if we were mining at Y15. And so I've created this formula where we add the block above our head, the block below our head, and then the ones we mine at where we expose free on that layer, we are adding those together and then multiplying that by 3. So now what I can also do is just drag this formula down and it will do it for all of these different levels. And then this right here is like a score that represents the highest value that you could be mining at, and it appears to be Y6. And now you can see when we put these side by side that things tend to get smoothed out a little bit because you're not just going to be looking at one layer. This also kind of confirms that Y6 and 5 seems to be the good spot to get diamonds now. So I used to mine for my diamonds at Y level 11, which has a score of 852, and at Y6 you now get 1154, and that is a percentage change of 35%, which is quite a big deal. So it would seem that mining at Y6 is the way to go. So you can take my data and make your own conclusions about what it means. I want to leave you with 2 thoughts though. One is that mining at Y5 and Y6 means you're going to encounter lava lakes more frequently. Of course you can dig around them, but you might get caught off guard on occasion. And the other thought is sample size. Some of you might argue that this is not enough. I personally think it shows that there is definitely something different, and I think it would be a really good idea to do this test on a larger scale. So if any of you do happen to do that, you can always reach out to me on Twitter. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this impromptu episode of Myth Busting. If you haven't seen the series before, check out the playlist linked below and leave a like while you're down there if you enjoyed the video. Also, let me know what you think of this change. Should it be changed back? Should we keep this? Is it a bug? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, that's it. Bye-bye.